Welcome to the 6th example solve of the day. The scramble is on the screen, so let's scramble our cubes together. Okay, let's look up the scramble. The cross is not very good, the scramble on the white. Is it any better on the yellow? Not much better. Okay, so this is a pretty difficult scramble as far as I can see. So what can we do? We can insert those two cross pieces like that. Then we can insert those two pieces with just RD moves. Those two pieces. So we will. What can we really do about it? We can then insert the blue one after inserting those two, and lastly the orange one. So I will try to predict my first pair then. I will try to use this pair. But I can see that those two pieces during our execution of the cross will stay together. That means that this piece will end up here. This edge piece doesn't move during our cross execution, so we will have something like that. This type of F2L pair. Okay. This type of case. So we can try to do our cross. And here's our first pair. We can just execute it. We have our second pair. The first thing I saw was this pair, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to pair it up like that and insert it into the back. It's very important in the cases like that to insert the pair into the back, so we can see both of your front slots. It's much easier to see what the next pair is when you see where the pieces are, opposed to like having them in the back. In this case, it's not too bad, but in general, it is very bad to have your fronts lot solved and those in the backs not solved. So well then, we just simply do this. We simply do this F2L pair and follow it by this F2L pair. Here you could insert it like that, the standard way, but you can also do here a sledgehammer to avoid having a dot OLL. Meaning, if you insert it normally, all of the edges are misoriented, which is a pretty bad case. So in case like this, most people usually do a sledgehammer to get a better OLL. Now for this OLL, I will do an OLL. I actually know for this case that my OLL also permutates all of the corners. If you want to be faster, you should for some easier OLLs, you should know when they will solve the corners. So for this case, this OLL executed like that will also solve the corners, and we have a Z-perm. So what can we learn from this scramble? The first thing is, if you're trying to predict your first pair, it is important to notice what pieces don't move very much. It is much easier to predict. For this pair is relatively easy to predict because this piece moves only once and it stays there. And those two will be connected throughout our cross solution, so it is relatively easy to predict the first pair. Next, if you have a situation like that, you should always try to put a pair into the back. You have to rotate your cube to put the pair into its right slot. There, it's pretty standard as well. And in cases where all of the edges are misoriented, you should definitely do a sledgehammer. So R prime F, R F prime. For this case, I know two OLL algorithms, so I should know which one to use to get a better PLL. That's definitely a thing you should know try to learn if you know at least 2 OLL algorithms for one case. So for this case, I know that this algorithm will solve the corners, and PLL is just a standard zipperm.